I mean, my charisma's shitty, so I'll just say yes, because I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to pass a deception check.
Okay. He tells you that the master takes great pleasure in giving his prisoners large amounts of power and responsibility within his domain here. He says if you're looking to take one of the prisoners out, you might do well to speak with the taskmaster, Aasimar. Aasimar being one of Locke's prisoners, one of his oldest and most powerful, who has been put in charge of deploying other prisoners, seeing after their well-being, making sure they don't escape, etc. He tells you that he will be in contact with Aasimar and tell him to... well, first he tells you he's going to be in contact with Aasimar, tell him to expect your coming. Second, he tells you he's going to be in contact with Matsu Henshin, and will inform him to give you the names of any rooms you need to pass through to reach Aasim's chapel.
Chapel.
And he asks
Right,
if this will be sufficient.
Riot says over mine link. Edwina mirror room.
Oh, we also need permission to go into the mirror room from Edwina.
And he says that permission is so granted. And the whole time you're having this conversation, the tentacles along the walls continue to recede like a turtle's head into its shell until eventually the entire form of this beast is localized up onto the platform. Mahogany, from your perspective, you can see the area that was blown open by a fireball, and you can see the muscles in that area very swiftly restitching and regenerating themselves.
Alright.
Liberation sits down cross-legged on Mahogany's back.
Mahogany, you're not leaving this room as a brontosaurus.
Oh, no, that was never in doubt. However, if you hadn't just said that, I was absolutely going to bump Liberation into the door jam.
Liberation looks a little sad when Mahogany does eventually revert.
I will let you shapeshift into a pygmy brontosaurus with the stat block of a horse.
Okay, yeah. No, you said it.
I'm absolutely not allowing you to do that. That's ridiculous.
DM Cypher rule.
Okay, so what's next? Mahogany, what form do you take?
It was just a normal shapeshift. I can't shake any form other than Mahogany's.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't the shapeshift spell.
Gotcha. So you're just going back down to Genasi?
Yeah.
So do you put Liberation down first, or are you now giving him a piggyback ride?
I think there's only one real response to that. And that response is, Mahogany's strength score is very low. So it's going to be a very short piggyback ride.
So I need checks to open this silver door. I need somebody to make a
Everyone
check.
Everyone looks at Kelian.
And I need somebody to make a strength check to hold the door open for the duration that you are going through it.
Alright, we'll do that. She's a giant ape. It's easy.
That ain't me.
Aid Riot.
I decided to not roll the random encounter table while you guys were doing that combat, by the way. Which is why there were no no hollow men got up ins.
They would have had a bad time.
It's a 21.
How'd Kelian do on the open doors?
22.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save this map.
Probably want to shrink Mahogany down before you.
Well, when I load the new map, he'll be the regular size anyway.
You don't have to.
I think it'll be funnier not to, so when we come back, it's a delight.
And you come back into the hallway.
So once we're through the door, I'll share over the mind link. I used most of my stronger valencies on that fight. I'm pretty tapped on resources. I don't know about anyone else. Also, took a pretty decent beating.
I mean, you guys...
Riot feel great.
Let's see, 2 CR14s, 3 CR3s, 2 2 CR8s plus a Beholder Blast every round. That was a hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I could use a short rest.
Yeah, I could take an hour as well.
It's just like, Brian, I feel really good though.
I mean, Nath will shrug if everyone an hour would be at least enough to walk off some of these. In character, the whole hit dice thing doesn't make a ton of sense, but an hour will be enough to spend some hit dice.
To walk it off.
Edwina room comfy. Sleep. Rest there.
That's what I was thinking.
Right, what's your intelligence score right now?
It's 7.
It's 7!
Low, not high.
So you ask Edwina if you can take a rest in her room.
That has to be one of the permissions we got, right? We asked for the rest permission?
I think Kelian should be the one asking this.
Yeah, it's totally a Kelian.
Yeah, Kelian will ask if we can take maybe an hour in her room to catch our breath.
So to be clear, and she's kind of holding your chin playfully in her hand. So you're asking me to shelter enemies of the Master for 1 hour.
Yeah.
For
Liberation
precisely
face
1
bombs.
hour.
For only
Liberation
one.
face bombs.
Guests of Master.
1 hour is Kelian, is like...
Kelian,
Yeah.
she asks you, in your explorations of this place, you have seen the mechanisms on the gilded doors.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know how many that you've personally opened.
Yeah, Kelian.
And, I mean, at this point, her hands are sliding down your arms, and she turns your palms upward and splays out your fingers, and she can see that there's no pinpricks on them.
Not a one.
She says that she would be derelict in her duties to provide such sanctuary to enemies of the Master, and that this is something Matsu Henshin would never consider, the old stick-in-the-mud that he is. But
Mm-hmm.
if you, Kelian, she says, provides a suitable gift that she may present to her master later, she might be able to buck the rules and look the other way, just this once.
I can't. It's not on me to.
It's not on you to what?
Kelian's like, I'm not a taker anymore. I don't have that penalty.
What else have you got in mind?
She's telling you that she wants your blood. She's leading you over towards this door in the corner of her room. She tells you that if you hold your thumb to the pin for 10 seconds, whether or not you open the door is your prerogative. But if you do this, that she will make her small room here safe from the hollowed men for a period of 1 hour, so that you and your friends may recuperate, catch their breath. Spend some hit dice.
What's past that room?
Yeah, do we have the name of the next room?
No.
You don't,
don't even know
but
what's in there.
Edwina
We don't.
tells Kelian that she would be happy to whisper it to him.
I mean, I can probably take one more room rest, unless it's terrible.
Yeah, let's go through this door into the next room and rest there. Says Riot, who is by now dropped the whole dumb giant ape thing.
Dumb by definition, not dumb as
Right.
in it was a dumb thing
Yeah.
to do because it was actually great.
So, instead of taking her up on the offer, you're going to ask her for the name of this room and then take your chances with what's on the other side?
No, I'm saying let's do both. If Kelian's going to be opening the door anyway, or if he's going to be able to open the door anyway, let's ask her what's in there. Or let's ask for the name, and in Kelian opening the door, we'll just open the door, you know?
She tells you that, and she kind of sighs dejectedly. She says, these lawful types have critical character flaws. Chiefly amongst them is vanity. If they believe in their heart of hearts that they own or control something, they cannot be persuaded otherwise. She says on the other side of that door is a replica of a relic that my master has been seeking for a very long time. One that he's got to play with once or twice over the centuries, and that he desires above all else. And then she looks back at Kelian and says, it is absolutely not a safe room to spend an hour in. But she'll whisper the name to you.
Okay, well we can try it after Kelian's. After
Why don't we agree to the rest first and then going through?
Well,
that's over the mind link.
Let's let Kelian make his decision.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else. So, right, you can buy your group a free short rest with no strings attached, provided you hold your thumb to this door for 10 seconds.
Just so Kelian has like a reasonable expectation of what to expect, how long have we been pressing our thumb to the doors?
Just instantaneously. You just press it in and the door opens. But she wants him to hold it there for 10 seconds.
Alright, so 10 could be pretty bad.
Kelian says over the mind link, we still have those candles, and I don't like the idea of this Destil character having any sort of my blood, being able to have access to my blood. That's why I haven't been opening doors, because I'm a Celestial. It doesn't sit well with me.
I mean, my thought is we should probably save the candles for when we're going to rest for more than an hour. But if we wanted, we could head up to the pillar room, and I can set up. I have one valence left that could be used to do a sanctum, and we could try and rest there.
Yeah, if we're gonna do a long rest, let's do that.
But if we're gonna, no, that's for a short rest.
That's for a short rest.
Yeah, takes 10 minutes.
Also, I haven't gotten a hold on your thing yet. Is it that you give your blood away and you get more blood back? Like, what's your belief thing?
Kelian is concerned that when last time he dealt with Fiend, he remembers dealing with the succubus. There was a prize about with the celestial blood. But the succubus had celestial and it fetched a high price.
Kelian, I got bad news for you. This fiend wants celestial blood. It's a lot easier places to go.
Yeah, but I'm here right now.
All right.
I mean, on the other hand, this entire place.
What say you, friend?
Yeah, sure, why not? Who cares?
Yeah! Who cares?
The apathy.
Party motto.
That's the I'll take a 10 on the danger scale. Kelian the 9.
She gives you the names of 3? Yes, 3 rooms.
That's our Kelian. I was thinking O positive.
This room here, the one that she wants you to open, she calls the doors that go everywhere. To the south of it here, where Mahogany is apparently still standing.
Okay, these things are hard.
This one here is a bottomless well of ink. These doors here have the same name. A Garden of the Mind. Kelian. She counts 10. And you're pretty sure she's counting a little slow. She is chaotic, so... Reduce your max HP by 14.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And after she does, she draws curtains across the entrances of her chamber. Here, and actually probably here, at the bottom of the stairs. And she makes the comforts of her room available to you and gives you her word that no harm shall come if you take an hour's rest.
Where's a good place for Riot to flop down and rest?
I mean, she's got nice sofas and there's nice comfy corners. There's like a reading nook. She's probably got an open bar.
I'll take
any of the... Alright, first of all, I'll take a shot of something strong from the bar after that last fight. Secondly, Is there any
Actually,
like
go ahead.
stone floor or anything? Or is it all super comfy?
No, she actually has. It is a stone floor, but most of it's covered by very opulent rugs.
Where's Edwina's bed?
There's a 4-post bed with curtains drawn in one of the corners of the room. I mean, we'll just.
Right, go sleep there, because Edwina's not the only chaotic one here.
Nath will ask Edwina if she minds if he pulls aside one of the overly soft rugs and meditates on the floor. He'll put it back when he's done.
No, she's making her comforts available to you. Make yourselves
Okay.
at home. The hallowed men and the various fiends will not harm you while you're here.
Lior is gone. I get 9 levels of spells back. That actually helps a lot.
Suddenly, Kelian is far in the lead of blood given to
Hey!
murderers.
Yeah, don't ever ask me to open a door again.
Everyone gets an extra 12.
Just in general.
Feedback
Like, not even when we get back to Sigil. No doors.
from Riot
Door.
Song of Rest.
Thanks, Riot. I feel very restful.
Max HP.
Zook doesn't actually have hit dice.
No.
So if you want him to heal, you're gonna have to heal him magically.
17 d6.
Jesus, just stop being an NPC for 1 second.
It's probably
How
a good
much
thing
extra?
We did catch that fight in half.
How much extra was that, Riot?
12.
Thank you.
Now, Nath, you said you took a shot of something strong.
Strong for Nath, which would be like, 50 proof.
I mean, are you asking Edwina to provide this to you?
I'm just asking her to point something out if she doesn't mind, just when she makes the place available.
She tells you that the master has a very large collection of spirits, some of which he makes available to his more esteemed underlings. And she does produce a bottle of very, very deeply colored reddish-brown liquor, which she says burns going down, but creates a warmth in your innards, very calming and soothing, and good to fall asleep to.
Is this just alcohol, or is there something else in it?
It's just like a strong brandy.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
And you take a draught of this, and it's exactly as described. Going down, it burns harshly, but once it sits in your stomach, you feel very lethargic, and very happy, and very calm.
That doesn't sound like Arnath. I think he has saving throws against calmness.
I can probably spend power points to avoid that, yeah.
Kelian, last question before you guys take your full benefit to the short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually open the door? And if so, are you holding it open somehow for the hour?
Yeah, let's open the door.
Okay, then I will describe the room beyond. Room number 35.
What
In
was
this
the
room,
rooms to get into this room?
the doors that go everywhere. This room doesn't have stone floor, and the frescoes along the wall are much different than what you've seen throughout the rest of the compound. There's light in this room. It's an ambient light. You're not sure where it comes from until you look up at the ceiling and you see what looks just either painted or embedded into the ceiling, the twinkling of 1,000 starlights. The frescoes around the wall are painted and carved to look like a nighttime scene in a swampland. The floor is earth and mud. And in the center of the room is what looks to your eyes like a realistic blueprint of Baba Yaga's hut. Looks dilapidated, punched
Yeah.
down
Yeah, we all saw that one.
on broken
Yeah.
legs. Like it's been disheveled and abandoned. And all along the outer edges of the room are a circle of skulls mounted on wooden stakes.
Why the hell does everyone want that hut?
Because it's an incredibly powerful thing.
Yeah, but it's gonna eat them alive.
Only a
Everyone
little.
thinks it's not going to be them.
Alright,
Everyone
take the
thinks,
benefits of the
That's-
short rests.
Everyone thinks
Story of
surely
the
I'm
multi-
stronger.
It's the story of the multiverse, really.
That stupid hut, yeah.
Everyone. Surely won't happen to me.
I mean, that last guy lasted for like 80 years, and he doesn't seem like he had it all there.
I mean,
I don't know, Zook, did he have it all there when he started?
Zook's opinion is that to undertake the sort of lifestyle that we all adventurers live, you have to be not all there to begin with.
yeah,
That's his
all of
opinion.
us are here because we heard the story of what happened to Duke and thought, surely that won't be us.
Nah.
Yeah, but the difference is that we're right.
I don't
Even
think
I'm
they
not
were.
that-
They might not have been paranoid enough, to be fair.
Zook protests
Even
a
I'm
little
not that
bit. He
arrogant.
says that he has it pretty good. In his forest with all his friends out there and the vast tracts of land that he's able to hunt and control and all the alliances he's made. And
Didn't you drag a black dragon towards...
he said yes, but that only happened the once.
I don't believe you.
So the short rest goes uneventfully. Outside of the conversation, obviously. And Kelian has chalked the door open, so nobody has to bleed on it to open it back up.
That's plate of him.
And at the end of the hour, Edwina saunters over and draws the curtains back and tells you that she hopes that you found your hour particularly restful, and asks where you will go from here.
I'm looking at the map now. Now that we have permission to go places, I remember we wanted to see Ulthor and records for a reason, and I don't remember what that reason was now. But like he was, oh right, because he was the one who was going to be able to tell us a better way to open the silver doors. So there's Ulthor and records.
Not that he would tell you a better way. What was said was he is probably in possession of a key
Yeah.
that you can.
No, yeah, I got that,
Okay.
but he knows a better way.
Do we want to check out the mirror while we're over here?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that while we're here.
Okay.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. Now I heard somebody during the start of this campaign or this session say 2 when Brickroad asked them how many doors they passed through.
That went me.
I'm at
I just
4.
lost 14 hit points, so I don't want to hear it.
I know who it was who said 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was me. I said that.
That's what I thought, but
I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus, Nick. I was gonna let them.
I was just gonna see if anybody else would say, was it me? No, it was Riot. So Riot's gonna do it. Riot presses a thumb to the mechanism and says, a garden of the mind.
Okay. Reduce your maximum hit points by 1, and the door does not open.
Was that the... No, she said these 2 doors lead to the same place, and they're both a Garden of the Mind.
Yeah.
or it could be 2 rooms with the same name. But either way, the door should have opened.
Hey, Edwina, you know we have permission to go back here, right?
You're just hollering up the stairs.
Yeah.
And she calls back, I can't hear you, sweetheart. I'm reading.
How that works? I don't do it enough to disagree.
Riot stomps back up.
Okay.
Hey, we said the name of the room, or at least the one you gave us, to a room that we had permission to go to. We did the blood thing. Nothing happened.
Which is, aw, diddums. Is that your sad story, sweetness?
Kelian goes up the stairs.
I'm saying we're playing by the rules of your master's game, and if you're breaking them, well, this is a ridiculous threat.
We're
Master's
gonna
not
tattle.
Yeah, the master's not going to care about anything what we have to say. We're probably going to kill him. Okay. All
I'll
right.
try the. Well, if
No,
Kelian
no.
doesn't get any.
It's good. Well, if you want, but the same thing's going to happen.
Edwina, why isn't the door opening? So
Well, let's see if Kelian can get anything first, and if not,
put our
I'll still
finger
try
in,
it.
pricked our blood, and the door didn't open.
Kelian, you can't see her smile because she's wearing a veil, but you see the contours in her face, and you realize that she's grinning, and she says, "Why indeed?"
That's
Nath, you're
not
up.
an answer.
Is there someone strong here to open this door once I try?
Riot's probably the strongest from the party. Let's go for it.
All right, I'll give you a guidance as an action, and then I'll prick my thumb and say a Garden of the Mind.
Okay. Kelian, make a perception check. Wisdom perception.
I can do that.
I should hope so.
Oh, Jesus, dicks. Well, I'm proficient in that, so let's...
Maybe that door pulls outward instead of inward.
So...
They all slide.
Yeah,
Ten.
they slide into one of the recesses in the walls.
Maybe it slides outward instead of
18.
inward.
18. Kelian, here's what you hear. You hear echoing down the chamber behind you. Nath speaks, a Garden of the Mind. And then a little bit closer to you, you hear the sound of a door closing. Nath, your door does not open.
Kelian runs to this door.
And by the time you get there, it's already closed.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on,
get
let me
back to-
reduce my max HP.
Yeah, the mechanism opens the opposite door.
What
Gotcha.
dickery?
Okay.
What's
I'll
funny-
do this one.
When Nath declared he was opening this door, Mahogany's token was right here. And then
I hurriedly moved it.
and then he moved it. I'm like, well, okay.
Okay. I'm going to open this one, and y'all can have fun in there. Everyone give me a holler when you're ready.
Do we still have wait. Do we still have the mind link up? I don't know how that works.
I
It
just don't
lasts
have
for
it.
8. It lasts for 8 hours.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thanks.
Who's the strongest person here in the group
Right.
at the door? I think it's Liberation.
Probably Liberation.
I'll give you a guidance for opening the door.
Extremely beefy monk.
Sure.
Oh, it lasts for 1 hour. So no, y'all don't have it anymore.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
Riot, you're going to
okay.
open the door?
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, the door in front of the group up here slides away and begins closing immediately.
Liberation reaches in, catches it.
It opens into a circular chamber. Looking into this room, the entire room is encircled in mirrored glass. However, when you look into the room, you do not see your reflection in the mirrors.
Because we're in the other room.
Other than that, there is no other adornments in this room, no creatures inside. The floors, the ceilings are the same as other rooms you've gone into. This room is lit by, instead of having the blue torch sconces on the wall, there is a small chandelier suspended from the ceiling with several blue candles burning in it.
I'm still by the door here. I'm going to hold this door open.
Okay.
Once that door opens, has the needle retracted into the wall? Or is it still accessible?
It's no longer accessible. The whole door slides into the wall. So as long as he's holding it holding it open, rather, it's not accessible.
So does this mean we're vampires if we don't see reflections of ourselves?
Might be
Yes.
interesting to try a scrying spell from here. We had a target. Obviously, Terran.
I thought that was bad.
Might be. I don't have it today anyway. But if we come back with a chance to actually rest.
Okay, so how long are we going to sit here being useless before we acknowledge that we have to put someone in the other room? I don't want to say what we're all thinking, but
So you think
I'm getting
maybe we
bored
gotta
standing here holding this door.
Oh my god, Mahogany.
No, he's right.
Okay, so what do you think we should try and simultaneously do this thing?
Well, we can leave one person in this room.
Not it.
It's a shame we don't have the raries anymore.
Liberation puts his finger on his nose and then starts walking toward the door.
Nath wasn't expecting any different.
All right.
The thing is, you'll need to close that door to get access to the needle to open the other.
Right.
Yep.
So why don't we leave 2 people in here?
Yeah, one of them can. Well, I'm not there.
Sounds good.
You're very close. And I'm holding this door open.
Zook has, like, no strength, right?
I don't have a stat block open.
Don't think so.
But
If we don't need-
his strength is a giant butt.
When we go through a door, like, if we don't need to hold it open, can we just dart through without making a strength check, or no?
these gold doors don't require a strength check to open up. The silver ones do.
Oh, okay.
The gold ones, as long as you prick your finger and speak the name, it opens for you.
And we can just go through it. As long as we don't want to keep it open, it's fine, basically.
Yeah,
right?
you're able to hold the door open, or you're able to chalk it open with tools, which you've done.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'll just have Zook with me then.
Okay.
Someone else can stay inside there, because if you go inside and the door, you can open, presumably this one from the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahogany, you count us down, okay? So let the door shut, and then count us down, okay?
Count you down for what?
To where we open this thing at the same time.
They shouldn't
Why?
need to be open at the same time.
We just want to get people in both rooms.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be open at the same time.
Okay.
It's just make sure that when that Mahogany opens it, that we can go through.
Well,
If it works that way.
Well,
So what's
one
happening?
side Mahogany, let the door shut.
Well, why are you standing here? What I'm saying is, I'm going to let the door shut, just so that we're all on the same page. I'm going to let the door shut. I'm going to stay in this room with Nath and Zook. You're going to go over there. You guys are going to go into that room.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. No. It's like
You're very fast, but I don't want to open this door up and having you on the other side of this room staring at a closed door, is what I'm saying.
I have to open the door, and then I will walk over there.
No, I'm going to open the door.
Okay. Whatever.
Edwina
Have
is
your-
chuckling to herself, listening to
Have
the
it your own
echoes.
way.
All right, so I'm going to close this door.
Okay. Which side of the door
Liberation-
you on?
Liberation walks
What's the
around
name of
corner.
the, before I close the door, I'll say it to Nath, because I already said I closed the door and I'm still cyber.
Okay.
What's the name of the other side of this door, the Edwina's room?
Let me find my notes.
Edwina Ducant, the Sunset Guardian.
All right. I prick my finger on the door and I say, Edwina Ducant, the Sunset Guardian.
And who's opening the other one?
Does this door open up?
This
Because
one?
that wasn't my way of understanding it. But, I mean, it could be that I had it wrong.
No, this door is opening. I was assuming somebody was going to be down here opening your door at the same time.
Oh, no, I'm not expecting to get let out.
No.
That's
yeah.
what I thought. That's what I thought too.
No,
I mean,
your guy
but
standing here, your
apparently-
door opens up.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go inside.
that was the goal.
And it's an
Yeah, that was-
identical
yeah.
chamber. Now, stepping into this room, before you step into this room, you can see the warped reflections in the circular chamber of Nath and Zook. And after you 3 step in, you in the northern chamber here can see the reflections of your companions in the southern room.
All right, cool.
And
This is
everybody's
creepy.
leaving the
Nath.
doors closed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you say
Yeah.
the twisted reflections.
I mean, the entire chamber is a circular mirror, so it's a reflection off of a reflection off of a reflection. It's very
So-
disturbing.
So I take out a piece of wood
Okay.
from my pack.
Yeah.
That I always carry with me, and I scribe in it. When do we want to open the door? And then I hold it up against the mirror.
Riot and Nath
Mhm.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Is this against a spell?
I'm
Sorry,
you know
it's
what?
always wrong.
No, it's not against a spell.
Okay.
Not a saving throw.
I
And not dexterity. I'm sorry, I misread that. Opposing Constitution checks.
Oh, I got a 24 probably. Front of the sheet.
Okay.
22.
22. Riot, how'd you
Yeah,
do?
let's see here. Less good. That's a 9.
9.
If it's not a save, it's a check, right?
This is a check.
Okay.
I was reading the saving throw from a different room. As you guys are wandering in the room, as Mahogany pulls this wood out, he's starting to describe something on it. Riot, you feel severe pain shooting up your arm from your fingertips. And you are knocked backwards on your butt. Take 6 points of force damage. And your arm, from your fingertips, halfway up your... this is the withered, terrible arm that was touching the black X. Almost up to your elbow, just beneath it, seems to be covered in this bizarre silvery slime. Nath, in your room, you feel like somebody just, like, if you're standing in a crowd, somebody just kind of bumps into you for a second, and at first you think it's Mahogany, but Mahogany's standing with his back turned to you, scrawling something on this wood, but looking down, you see your arm, up near your shoulder, is also covered with this weird silvery slime.
Can I see Riot with the slime through the mirror?
Yeah, you look in the mirror, and Riot's sitting on the ground, kind of... It looks like she's just run headlong into a wall and got knocked over.
Riot's gonna come out of the space that Nath is in.
Okay.
Nath is going to cast a cantrip and use that to cause the glowing letters to appear in front of him towards Riot. Message? ?
Riot attempts to cast message over at where she thinks Nath should be.
All right, and it works.
Okay. And she says, yeah, what do you want?
I was just trying to see if this was a way we could communicate.
Seems so.
Meanwhile, Mahogany's like
were you all right?
and
I
a
think-
half in.
Is this stuff still on my shoulder? Or does it evaporate?
No, it's just stuck there. It's like the slime in Ghostbusters, a little bit. The ectoplasm. It's just got this weird silvery whitish sheen to it.
Riot messages Nath, let's be very careful not to stand in the same...
I'll communicate that to the rest of the group. Riot thinks that whatever this stuff is because we were standing in the same place in the relative rooms. Mirrored or the same absolute position?
It was when you were both walking into the center of the chamber.
Yeah. Mirrored, I would think.
And Mahogany turns around and says, Riot says, oh, right, magic. And she just throws the wood into the fucking room. Thank God.
Wait, what direction do you throw it in?
Probably right here.
Okay. Kelian, make a Constitution check. Actually, you know what? Don't bother, because a piece of wood doesn't have any Constitution.
Good.
So, Mahogany, you fling this piece of wood, and Kelian, it feels to you just like something bumped the back of your head for a second, and then matted in your hair is this silver spunk. Meanwhile, up in 36, you fling this wood, and it just explodes in midair into splinters.
And I look at it, and then I look in one of the mirrors, and I go, I guess it's not mirrored now?
No, it doesn't seem to be. Absolute position, then?
Riot messages over to Nath. What do you think the point of all this is?
My immediate thought is we have to find something that has some sort of duality to it and bring both of them into here and have them coexist in the same space?
Okay.
Or something.
That sounds reasonable, but we don't have anything like that at the
No.
moment.
It's a garden of the mind, is the name.
I mean,
of
I
it.
wonder... It's weird that this doesn't seem to have any sort of mental effect. It just seems to be physical. If I concentrate psionically on this silver stuff, does it have any psionic energy?
Make an Intelligence Arcana check. First of all, what are you doing to study it? Like, are you just kind of like glancing down at your shoulder, or what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna put a hand on it. I'm actually gonna pump a single power point into it and see if I can get it to be at all psionically reactive. So that'd be a on a check. That would be a 15 on intelligence.
Okay. That was Intelligence Arcana?
Oh, Arcana. Sorry, that's a 21.
Touching it with your hand, it feels like paint, like dipping your fingers into paint. It's got a cold but very slick feel to it, which gives you the sense that it's going to dry pretty swiftly. It's not psionically charged. When you pump a power point into it, it doesn't do anything. But thinking about it, you think this stuff would look really good in one of those center basins.
Oh, okay. Riot.
I'm going to attempt to because the
Riot, I haven't.
This,
Let's.
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I got.
Well, I was just wondering because does it seem like the silver stuff is like made of like the same mirror stuff as the mirrors on the walls?
No, I mean, along the walls is mirrored glass. This silvery stuff has the consistency and feel of paints, and kind of looks like a semi-translucent silver slime.
Okay, because the only experience I have with Garden of the Mind sort of stuff is to start trying to treat that silver stuff like it's the stuff from Limbo.
So I'm gonna reach into my pack and pull out this vial of phlogiston that I've been carrying forever.
Okay.
Nice.
And I am going to empty out the phlogiston and try and capture some of the silver stuff into it from my shoulder.
Okay.
And I'll use a cantrip to just, manipulate it.
And you put a small quantity in this vial, and it doesn't look like a lot. I mean, when you scrape it off your shoulder and wring it out of your clothes, I mean, it amounts to maybe a couple drops. It was not a very thick sheen of the stuff.
You think maybe we need to make more of it?
Yeah.
And I'll kind of wave to Riot because I can't cast message.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Riot messages you.
Yep.
What you thinking? I saw
I'm
you
thinking
collecting
this
that
might
stuff.
be useful for one of the basins, but we need a lot more of it. Do you have anything like the wood mahogany had?
Hey,
in this
Mahogany. How much
Yeah.
wood you got? Oh wait, you're over there.
Yeah.
Anyone got any garbage? Riot says to her crew. Anyone got any just garbage?
And I say to Nath in this room, why doesn't one of each of us in each of these rooms throw a water skin in the center of that room?
My water skin has the stuff in it, but
I mean, water skin, like every starting character gets like 10 water skins. Like we have.
wait, can you create water?
Oh wait, actually I can too.
And
So if we.
what if both of you create water in the center of the room?
Okay. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Riot cast create water.
Mhm.
Right here.
And Mahogany, you do the same thing at the same time?
Yep.
And each of you sees the reflection of the other doing the incantation to create water. And then you are all drenched as this... How much, we're talking 5 cubic feet of water or something, right?
Yeah,
Let me look it up. Yeah.
It's like a water cooler jug size quantity of water this created. I think.
It's actually
10
important
gallons.
how much mass there is, though. So
I will
Yeah,
tell you
I'm
exactly
looking
the amount. It is
create
10
water.
gallons.
10 gallons.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like a water, the amount of water you'd see in a water cooler bottle.
you all are drenched as this water violently sprays in every direction. And no small quantity of the silvery paint stuff as well. But, I mean, it's blasted out in every direction. You all get soaked, and splotches of this paint land all over your bodies and the floor, and all up on the mirror as well. It doesn't seem very viscous, and the water doesn't seem to be diluting it very much, but it's going to take some effort to try to scrape it all off and wring it into vials.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna-
we can be careful about this though, and such that we don't.
Can I use
Collide.
cantrip to the ability to create a little whirlwind to move dust around to scrape it into the jar?
You could probably do that to collect some of the paint stuff in a little area to make it easier to collect, but you're going to need something like, I would say Mage Hand. You might be able to actually manipulate some of this stuff.
Yeah, I can do both.
Both of those.
Okay.
Yep.
So what are you guys in the
Right.
south room doing?
Riot's just going to try and scrape some of the stuff into her water skin.
Is there anything in her water skin?
She's going to have to dump out some Oceanus water, which is she's had forever.
You dump out the Oceanus water, and it smokes on the ground and steams and boils, and it leaves pockmarks like acid in the marble floor.
That's fascinating.
Okay, so after a few minutes, you guys each collect about half a vial of this paint stuff. Riot in your water skin, and Nath in a in the vial holding phlogiston, and you stopper them up.
Okay.
All right,
And what's next?
are we ready to leave?
Yeah, But the thing, oh, I guess that's a good. Okay, so Riot messages. Just looking around her. Riot messages. Nath, you go first. It looks like you have a pocket to stand in. So you go over
Alright.
to the pocket, and then I'll go over to our pocket, our door, and then we'll both hit at the same time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
On 3, and I'll finger 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, right. Fingers the door and says,
I'm gonna zoom
Edwina
in.
Ducant, the Sunset Guardian.
Nath just says the Sunset Guardian.
Wait, you just say the Sunset Guardian?
It's a
Is that the name of the road?
Sunset.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay.
it's Edwina Ducant, the Sunset Guardian.
And Mahogany
Okay,
reminds
I
you. of
just
that.
said it.
Yeah.
Well, I just
Mahogany-
okay.
You heard Mahogany just say it.
Nath and Riot, go ahead and mark off one more hit point off your total.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you guys carefully exit the room without occupying
Yeah.
the same space once again.
Okay.
So each
Well, that
of
was
you
a
are
hoot,
carrying
Nath.
half of a quantity of this paint. Are you combining it now, or are you each going to hold on to half of it?
Let's each hold on to. Well, no,
Let's
because
each hold on
that'll-
to half, because who knows how it's going to combine, because it came from 2 different horrible mirror rooms.
the argument I was going to make in favor of combining it was that if we come across another source later, it'll be good to have one completely empty free skin.
Yeah, and I've got just this.
And Mahogany looks at you in the eyes, takes out a water skin, and dumps it on the floor.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, Riot rolled a 6 on that check after casting credits for a while, so I can't use that again until a long rest.
Unfortunate.
And what's next?
It's sort of like a cantrip that unrecharges. Let's head over to see Ulthor.
Basically the Pokemon trading card game.
Okay, so you're not going into this room here. You're leaving that one. Heading
Do we have
back.
the name of that one?
Should we?
If we have
Yeah,
the name,
name.
we should.
We do have the name. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Riot's gonna call not it because I just opened like 3 doors.
I'm sitting at 4. I'll open another one and make it an even 5, because that's easier for me to remember. What's the door?
This is a bottomless well of ink.
Go
Let me
ahead
mark
and
that on the map.
cast guidance on liberation to open the door.
Well, that'll look a lot better once this black is removed.
Okay,
I'll
who
prick my
opened-
finger on the door and say a bottomless well of ink.
Mahogany opened this one. Okay, looking into this room. Somewhat dark in here. You see the torch sconces along the wall, but they look much, much dimmer. They're giving off much lower lights.
20 to hold the door open, or I'm sorry, 19 to hold the door open.
You still see the celestial and heavenly frescoes and carvings along the wall. This room looks like a scribe's chamber. There are, along the walls, there are piles and piles of various tomes and scrolls. And in the center of the room is a large table just covered with parchments, empty inkwells, quills and such. And an orc.
Just a loose orc.
I mean, random encounters are a bitch, right?
But no pie. Interesting.
And when the door opens, he immediately looks up, and you see this old orc covered in battle scars. He's dressed like a scribe in their standard, their robes, a moderate hat.
What?
But looking at his skin, at his face, and the parts of his arms, you see he's covered in battle scars. This is clearly not the garb that he's used to wearing. And he kind of looks up at you all, disinterested. The door opens. Do any of you speak orc?
Nope.
Liberation does.
Liberation can understand it.
Then only Liberation
And-
can understand him. When he's Riot, you've heard the language before, but you don't speak it because you live with a mean-ass orc.
Right.
He's addressing the whole group. Only Liberation understands when he says, I suppose I have you to thank for the recent disappearance of my babysitters.
Liberation steps into the room, smiles, and says, probably. Zook, hold the door.
You're asking Zook to hold the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Liberation responds in common, but he would be still the orc would still be able to understand him.
And when you respond in common, he grunts, kind of disgustedly.
Oh, right, because he'd be able to understand it and know that it was common. That makes sense.
Yes.
He tells you that it's his lot and his fate in life if you have come here to bring him death. But at least do him the respect of not bringing the tongue of man into his quarters.
Liberation shrugs and then continues in Infernal and says, all right, is this more acceptable?
And he grunts again. And he says, and now you speak the tongue of the jailer.
I've only got so many options to work with here.
Being very rude.
You see him lean over, and it's not a weapon per se. It looks like more like a glorified letter opener, which at one point might have been a letter opener, but it looks severely sharpened, like this orc has done some work on it. And he bids you lean forward, and he will do you the courtesy of carving the tongue out of your face, so that you may not speak insults anymore.
Liberation grins and shakes his head.
All right, what's going on? Liberation.
Oh, he wants to cut my
Is he
tongue out.
Ink? Is that his name? Ask him if he's Ink.
So, what are your duties here?
He tells you that he has the displeasure of being Orson Orphinius, and he is charged to be Dustin Locke's scribe.
Did you choose this lot, or was it forced upon you?
And you see his eyes narrow, and he tells you, when dealing with the likes of Destin Locke, there is no difference.
Liberation claps his hands together and says, "Okay, more people need liberating. Fabulous."
Riot asked Liberation, "Hey, ask him if we can have some ink."
He's got a bottomless well of it.
May I trouble you for a pot of ink?
And you see him wield this letter opener in his hand, which, I mean, not even the size of a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells you you're welcome to come and take some. He says menacingly.
Liberation shrugs and says, "Hey, friend, look, not meaning any violence here. I've already had my fill of violence today."
He said he knew. He says he suspected as much, that he took you for a coward when you first walked into his room.
How tough does this guy look?
Make a wisdom insight.
Okay. Riot's basically trying to figure out if we can take him.
Oh, we could take him.
Not non-lethally.
Aw.
Okay. Wisdom insight. 13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
This is a man of great pride.
Mm-hmm.
You think there's something to him more than meets the eye. Physically, you're sure you could take him. I mean, yeah, he's muscular and he's got big teeth, but you can also see he's old and battered. He's seen a lot of combat, a lot of battles in his life. But you also know from living with the Ashnars that for an orc, that kind of experience is very hardening.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably has depths of strength that you're not seeing clearly.
He's probably a CR of 4 or even 5.
Riot says to Liberation, he's not going to give us the ink.
I'm not here to thump heads for people who are not here willingly.
He asks you whose head you are here to thump.
What language are you guys talking in?
Liberation's speaking common. He's speaking in orc.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's speaking common. Orson is speaking orc, but they can understand each other because lol monk horse shit.
And we're all playing an extremely annoying game of telephone.
Yes.
Okay.
Riot speaking common.
Liberation interprets for the others.
He asks how many times you need to ask permission from your girlfriends to speak to him. Can you not look him in the eye and speak to him man to man? Do they control your actions, your words, your destination?
Liberation steps up to the desk, puts both hands on it,
Okay.
fairly forcefully, and says, "Look, friend, I'm not here to play.
Okay.
Finally.
I'm not here to play with you."
Actually, let's start like this. Let's just do an opposed dex check with liberation, and we'll see if it turns into initiative from there. You don't got to roll very high.
I didn't.
You didn't. How'd you do?
I rolled a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Wait, a 4 plus your bonus?
You want bonus
What's
is a
your
plus,
dex?
plus 3?
So it's 7?
No, that was a 1.
No, he rolled
die.
a 4.
Oh, okay. So you
I
throw your
rolled-
hands down on the
Even
table.
I rolled better than that.
You lean forward. You say, "Listen, friend," and with a flash of movement, he stabs through your hand with this letter opener, pinning you to the table. Go ahead and take 3 points of piercing damage. And he
Liberation
sneers
stone-faces
at
it.
you. You stone face it?
Yeah.
Does any hostility come from the back of the room?
Is it a magical letter opener?
I do have to tell
Do
you.
monks
Kelian-
have? Do monks
Kelian's
no longer
laughing
get
his head
the
off.
resistance to non-magic? Anyway,
No, they don't get that.
okay.
No.
No, I'm not going to do anything just yet.
Let Liberation own this. You just stone face it?
Yeah.
I'm more curious than anything.
And his sneer
Right.
turns into a look of like bemused acceptance as after a moment he wrenches his letter opener free from the desk. Then he asks you again, "Whose head are you here to thump?"
Liberation grins. That hurts good.
What do you say to answer this question?
The heads that I'm here to thump are those who would keep people here unwillingly.
He tells you that a vague and non-committal answer is going to leave you dead if you don't have the conviction to choose a target and focus on it, that you will not survive the battlefield.
Riot can't hear this, but she's heard Liberation's answer, and says to Liberation, "Devils, tell him devils. Just say devils."
Liberation, what's he asking? What's he saying?
Liberation responds in Infernal. Yeah, any devil assholes that would fuck with me and mine.
It's so cute when he tries to talk dirty.
Yeah, I know.
Does this guy look like he can understand when we're just yelling at Liberation?
Make an insight check. Wisdom insight.
Yeah, you got it. That's a 23.
23. You absolutely get the sense that he understands common quite well.
That's what I just said. Right, he understands us.
But he's not addressing himself to you at all. And he's not speaking. He doesn't deign to speak in common. He asks Liberation. He says, "Are you telling me that you have the strength to make an enemy of all the hordes of Beator?"
Oh, I just by nature, I probably have made quite a few enemies here in Beator. Just by who I am.
He says a man that believes he's made no enemies is delusional.
No, I'm saying I have. I'm pretty sure I have. I just don't know them. by name.
At this point, he lets the letter opener clatter to the desk. He reaches up and he draws back part of the robe, exposing an upper part of his chest. And you see an enormous scar over his rib cage, which is slightly jutting out where his heart would be. Like an evil Ryu situation.
Nice.
He tells you that he is a brave son of Acheron, and that he has spilled more blood on the cubes than most contingents in the Blood War would know what to do with. He tells
So then
you,
why aren't you?
if you spill the blood of the devils in this place and return him to Acheron, that he will aid you in any way that he can.
Oh, you know it, friend.
And he doesn't
You don't- see,
like
you don't-
being called
you-
friend.
You don't look the bookish type to me.
He explains his situation. He was a decorated war chief on Acheron, who went to war with an army of kobolds that outnumbered and outmaneuvered him. And even though his much smaller number won the victory, he himself lay dying on the battlefield. And on his deathbed, Locke came to him and offered him a return to life in exchange for service. Orson accepted his pact and became a warlock of Destinlock. But when he came to learn that Locke's goal was to undermine the powers of Acheron, Orson stood against him, built another army to withstand Locke's forces. And the trick about warlocks is that once a fiend or a whatever gives you a bit of their power, they can't take it back. It's not a deity situation. So Orson eventually became enemy number one of Destinlock, and after years of guerrilla tactics against Locke's forces, was eventually captured and lashed to this room.
Lashed.
He's
Like, literally, or?
he's bound here by magic that you would have to break for him to leave. He tells you that Locke considers him such a powerful foe that he had to send his pet Solar to retrieve him. And at this, he pulls the robe down over his shoulder and he shows you this gaping wound that's been stitched up in his shoulder. And he tells you this is where the Solar's arrow pierced his flesh. Orcs love talking about their battle scars.
Yeah.
And the Liberation is relaying the whole.
Yeah, Liberation is translating.
Okay, so Liberation gives you guys the gist.
Keenan says that's way cooler than we needed.
Is this Stolar here?
Yeah, it is.
Liberation points off in the direction of Matsu Henshin's.
And that's an Archon. Solar is a different beast.
A Solar is a type of Archon. A Solar is the most
okay.
powerful type of Archon.
Yeah.
Matsu
Gotcha,
Henshin's a
okay.
Hound Archon, which is like... He's like the bearded devil, and the Solar is like the pit fiend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kelian, you gotta tell me about these things.
Oh,
No, he's right, Kelian. That one's on you.
So here's what Orson is able to do for you. Is Locke has, as a great insult to Orson's battle prowess, decided to turn him into a scribe. And his job is to sit here and transcribe. And you see the countless materials laying disorganized around the room. He tells you there's a great deal of information about Locke's complex in some of these tomes. And that he's happy to let you peruse them. He tells you normally this wouldn't be possible, but the 3 bearded devils that were stationed here to guard Orson's escape recently got gated away.
Liberation grins. It says yo me for that one.
Like
He
hell
tells
he
you-
does.
The only caveat is that everything in here is written in Orcish.
Ah,
That's what we have wizards for.
that would be the rub.
Yeah, I think comprehend language is a ritual. One of them is.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I will let you guys...
Yep.
So you're going to take 10 minutes and cast this ritual?
Yeah.
And then how long do you want to spend in this room looking for pertinent information about the complex? You
How
will
long
be
does the spell
subject to
last?
random encounters for this whole time.
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing. Mahogany's 100% unwilling to read these books. So,
That's
Also,
why we're not
unable.
you've
gonna
got
have
at least
spell
one
time.
person on guard.
Okay.
I would say let's start with doing an hour of research and see what happens during the first hour.
Okay.
If we find anything useful, or if we get attacked. How does that sound?
While Mahogany, or not, while Nath is casting that ritual, Mahogany, or I can't even say my own character's name. Riot is going to cast Rares as a ritual.
Okay.
Because that takes an amount of casting time.
And you're going to spend an hour perusing these books, reading through all these orcish scripts. Nath, make a straight intelligence check.
I'll give you inspiration for that.
Guidance
Is the inspiration at 12 now?
It is a 12 now.
and a D4 for guidance.
I'll give you advantage.
Well,
22.
22?
Yep.
Did you roll with advantage?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I give you enhance.
Yeah, see if you can get
Okay.
better than that. 22 is still pretty good.
23.
How's it 23?
Okay.
Oh, that's
So-
one more, ain't it?
We're going to take our break, our 15-minute break, come back at 4:45. When we come back, Nath, you can ask me 5 questions about this complex.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
And then we will resolve that. Let me put Elizabeth on screen here. Oh, she's already on screen because I put her there when I was playing Zelda the other day.
Has she been there the whole time?
Well, no, I
That
just
must be
switched to the other
exhausting.
scene.
okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
used the
okay.
same scene for my pre-stream and my Elizabeth. So, all right, guys, go ahead and get your snaglins. Let's reconvene about 4:45.